Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, counsel you bastards.
It's the council. All right, so, I've always truly believed that the definition of insanity was doing the same shit over and over and expecting different results.
Right.
Now, in the world we live in, we become so accustomed trying to survive and maintain in a world built on an absolute narrative to where our best interests and our beliefs have always been disregarded and we have yet to see change.
Right.
Now look right here. I speak to you people as kings and queens because we all have a purpose and share the same goals and wanting what's best for ours, and then building upon that, thus equating an abundant kingdom. But now look here. Imagine if we all come together on one accord to do the things to build one another up while thriving and then enhancing, and then without realizing it, we become a more relentless and yet an unconquerable empire. Now understand this shit, and please understand this if you don't understand anything else. Shit is gonna get way rough before it gets any better. But a horizon of new opportunity and provision is surely on the way. So ladies and gentlemen, without further motherfucking ado, I'd like to welcome y'all people here to the council. Let's go.
You now in tune, now in tune to the. You now in tune, now in tune to the. You now in tune, now in tune to the. You now in tune, now in tune to the council.
You bastard.
Hold up, you now in tune, now in tune to the. You now in tune to the council. Hold up, you now in tune to the. You now in tune to the council. Hold up, you now in tune to the. You now in tune to the. You now in tune to the council.
Back at it again.
Back at it again, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the council, you bastards. And we back. Episode 7.
7, man.
7.
Lucky 7.
Completion. We out there, baby. We almost done with it.
Almost done, man.
Tuning in, it's your boy Deuce.
It's your boy Boulevard P, man.
Yes, we back with another one. Good topics, good substance, just for them people. Episode 7, we gonna talk about music and all the things intertwined.
Finally speaking on music, man.
I know. Finally. A long time coming. We had to warm you up though, you know what I'm saying? We had to
We did, man.
Acquainted with these things before we go into this, because music is something dear to our heart. So definitely, now that we here, we got a few things on the agenda we gonna talk about. Most importantly, music inclined everywhere around. We gonna talk about Nas and his first Grammy for his album.
About fucking time.
Long time coming. If anybody, that is Nas. And we gonna talk also about other artists in the industry like Drake, who's been, awarded Artist of the Decade this year, and a couple of others, with a few little stunts and things that seem to be on the rise here and there. But most importantly, we have, music artist month that we supporting here at the council in Big Benz. Big body Benz, you hear me? Yeah. Yes, sir. My man, first special exclusive guest, a legend in my eyes out here, real humble, you know what I'm saying, inspiring human being, the big brother to a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, Big Benz, y'all, real live.
Appreciate that, fellas. Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. It's an honor. Thanks a lot, big bro, for doing this shit, nigga.
I appreciate it. More than you know, man. You already know.
Yeah.
Starting off, we talking about one of the legends, one of the guys to me in rap, hip hop.
Yes.
One we gotta highlight. A long time coming, you know what I'm saying, definitely deserving of roses, flowers, and everything else of the game, showing us how to be an MC from really both sides of the spectrum, old school, new school, whatever you want to call it, and you know what I'm saying, showing us the right way to do it, build up. There's got to be a guy to MC Nas, yo.
Yes.
Real live finally getting his first Grammy. He's been nominated, 13, 14 times. But finally, yeah, right. Let that sink in, right?
Yeah, that's a long freaking time, man.
Right. As long as we know Nas from at least the late 80s to coming up to now, right? Finally just getting his first Grammy this past year for King's Disease. Applying pressure. Brother ain't now he ain't seem like he's slowing down. He dropped King's Disease 2 and stats on that debut week number 3 on the Billboard. Top 200. That's amazing to me. That's amazing to see. That's amazing. By example, especially coming from our side of hip hop, you know what I mean, that doesn't really get a lot of accolades, like it's supposed to, for changing culture and doing great things in the community and here and there, and you know what I'm saying, inspiring so much. It really baffles me that it took this long for Nas to get this. You know what I mean? When it, like I said, it should have been given. But hits on hits, you know what I mean? Done did music with all types of genres of artists, and to be versatile like that and still be kicking and moving. That's to me as just a real life inspiration, heartwarming thing for me. It's an amazing thing. It's like icing on the cake, dog, because it's been about due. You know what I mean? And I'm glad he finally got his just due now, and is starting to realize, rip it up the way that almost it seemed like he was meant to from the get go. And you know what I'm saying? I know we all have our stories of when we first heard Nas, when Nas first came into our lives. You know what I'm saying? I want kind of hear that, because for me it was the time that I heard Nas and was really paying attention. It was at the height of the Nas beef, the Stillmatic, the Godson. You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, I heard Nas before that, but to really pay attention to it as a kid and understand the aftermath of everything that he's doing with the lyrics and the songs, it's like now everything that you see is coming to fruition of what he's saying he was going to do, and it's awesome. You know what I mean? It definitely is awesome, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I love to see that coming from a background where we all know very well. Project, hustling, you know what I'm saying? Fighting in the streets, niggas dying around you. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is real inspiring to me. See one of my favorite MCs definitely get his just. And I know y'all, like I said, y'all go elaborate as much as y'all want to, whoever want to pick it up. But
Benz, I'm gonna let you speak first, bro.
I first got introduced to Nas because I was a big Jay-Z fan. Like Reasonable Doubt was the first CD that I bought. Like went to the store and bought. You know what I mean? I wasn't even really old enough to buy it for real. Went to Tower Records, you know what I'm saying, and bought it, $22. So I'm playing it. You know what I'm saying? My dad was the one that was like, you ever heard Illmatic? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, nah. He's like, you got to listen to Illmatic. You know what I mean? Their whole career, they've been like LeBron and Carmelo early on. You know what I mean? You hear one, you got to hear the other. Like, it's always been like that for them two. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he's like, you got to hear Illmatic. So then, he put me on to it.
I know that's right.
Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the complete opposite. You feel me? They come from the same type of environment, but this is a completely different perspective. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was definitely a bigger Jay-Z fan than an Nas fan early on because Jay-Z is more digestible. You know what I mean? Nas is talking to you, don't know what to, so you know what I mean? You gotta go study. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I started to really listen to him though, like and it like really put me in a different headspace. So I became a big fan after that. And then, later on he had certain hits in his career that were easily digestible. But his records like the backwards joint, like those type of joints where you just be like, yo, like you know what I'm saying? Like these records right here, like it shows you the separation. You feel what I'm saying? Like I don't care how many big pimpins, you feel what I'm saying? How many is that your chicks you got? Like that backwards joint is like artist. When it comes to the artistry and the creativity, what we do is like a record like that, my nigga, is like You feel me? It's like Mount Rushmore type stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's like Big L's Ebonics. You feel what I'm saying? It's like records like that, they don't leave. Like no matter how old you are, like those records stay with you. And I feel like that's what separates the men from the mics. You feel what I'm saying? It's like stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, that's how I got introduced to Nas. You know what I mean? And then Project Window is still like that's like top 5 in my songs of all songs. Project Window is like one of my favorite records of all time. You feel what I'm saying? It is not like it is.
Right.
My favorite records of all time. So yeah, man, like that's how I got put on the Nas, man. Just with my pops and stuff. Like he's like, you like Jay-Z, like you got to hear Nas.
That's a fact, though.
Yeah.
That's definitely right.
2001. Was it 2001, 2002 with Nas and Jay? Yeah. So I was in 9th grade. I remember that. I remember when Stillmatic came out. I remember when Got Yourself a Gun came out, dog. It spoke to me. I do remember Nas from If I Ruled the World.
Right.
I do remember that. But to see him, I guess, in a different perspective, in a sense, because this is how I feel about it. I feel like Nas's success was always hindered because I think he always kept a certain sound. He never allowed himself to move with the time. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I feel like when Hit Boy came into the picture with, helping him with producing and everything, like that's why he's now skyrocketing. And so it's so great to actually hear like these different variations of something that's so new and modern now and still keep that same finesse, keep that same, standard and ethic that he's always stood on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nas has always been a spectacular, God MC artist. Like that's no question. And just like yo, I was a Jay-Z fan. But when I heard Got Yourself a Gun, what was the other jump that he did? The one that killed Jay? Ether, yes. When he dropped Ether, man, I was like, look, man, there ain't no coming back from this shit, dog. This motherfucker is done.
Yeah.
This nigga is done. And I really believe from that moment on that, he was going to skyrocket because, like, he still kept his sound, but I felt like those were 2-3 different songs that kind of, like, elevated him and made him sound more modern in the 2000 era. Not like he was back in the 90s and shit. But he didn't want to do that. So that's why I was like, I always respected Nas, but I feel like, his true hindrance always came into like his production.
For sure.
And you know what I'm saying? To see him where he is now, I haven't listened to everything with King's Disease too, but I did listen to Sunday Brunch, Sunday, literally. And I was like, yo, that shit spoke to me. Like that's some feel good shit. So you know what I'm saying? Like he's got a lot of good things that are coming in this project right here, man. And to see him grow from where he's gone after all this fucking time, man, it's truly something that needs to be honored and acknowledged, and just just give him the utmost for that shit, because you know what, he's where he finally deserves to be.
That's right.
That's rare.
Count God and see one of, and like want to piggyback off of what Benz was saying. That kind of shows the split between what's an artist and, in my opinion, or what I like to say, is a rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in most people's opinion, be a performer.
Right.
Because these are the details of what you are, just as this and just as that. You know what I mean? Your criteria, your characteristics, and things like that come along with that. But how you make that portray on the wax is a different ball game. You know what I'm saying? And through, that's why, like, going into this next topic, like with Drake, you know what I mean? It's seeing like him literally being named Artist of the Decade. It makes sense. You know what I mean? Of this decade, this kind of generation's more or less Michael or I almost in a sense like Prince almost. You know what I'm saying? It's like you kind of see the nuances of what an artist kind of details and has.
Artist of the Decade?
That's what from Billboard, Drake got the award of Artist of the Decade.
Artist of the Decade, yeah.
I guess from 2009 to 2019, I guess that's his cap, 2020, whatever, 2010 to 2020. And yeah, like it's like, okay, you see, some will say, oh well, I got others, that could have possibly ran with him, Cole and Kendrick, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't see it, you don't hear it enough. You know what I'm saying?
And that is I only feel as if like the only artist that could rival that would be Kanye.
Right.
Like, and I still don't feel like it's Kanye. I just feel like that's the only argument.
Competing, yeah.
That's the only argument would be Kanye. You know what I mean? No.
And definitely gonna talk about Kanye right after this. You know what I mean? Because like I said, these are those almost debatable barbershop.
That's Jay-Z and Nas.
Yeah, as MC guide MCs. That's it. Like that's all you gonna know from there. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like literally, when it comes, you gotta think about that's just hip hop.
Yeah.
Just that. Not saying that they haven't crossed over in other genres.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, that's just hip hop that made them into that ultimate totem pole to go follow. You know what I mean? With Drake, he dabbled in everything else, pop, R&B. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere probably country and some other, influences and things like that, and writing whatever else. You know what I'm saying? He matured a lot of artists for this decade. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Everybody, damn near every artist that I know has had had that Drake slow down line in something, in a verse, and at least one verse, something that mimics something close to what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? And even myself included. You feel what I'm saying? And to be that influential for it to trickle all the way down, you feel what I'm saying? That means you had to have brought something that was so unique that it had to be emulated. You feel what I'm saying? And we all know because we all do music. So we know how hard it is to do something that catches and then in turn is emulated by somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the degree in which he's done it, you have to give that to that man, dog. And being real, if you're gonna say, let me feature with any artist, and this time I asked somebody that the other day, like, yo, like if you could only feature with one artist your entire career, and she does music, you feel me? Like you can only feature with one artist your entire career, who would it be? Me, I'm on some street shit. I'm like, it's gonna be Nipsey. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's my vote. You know what I'm saying? She's like Drake, and like I just had to pause. Like damn, dog, you gonna get us out the hood? Like, you know that choice right there, like yo, shorty, like that choice was like that was the ultimate choice. Like I didn't really stop and think, like damn, like yo, like she couldn't have picked a better candidate. Like that was it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and to think, like again, that's hip hop.
Yeah, it has the roots of it, right?
Pop star. She didn't say Taylor Swift. She didn't. None of you feel me? She said Drake, yo, and she didn't even hesitate. She was like Drake.
Drake got the Midas touch, man.
You feel me?
So anything he does is gonna be successful. Period.
No, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
And seeing that, there's others who we thought, could have possibly been in that contention, like, Chris Brown or, some say Trey songs, maybe some say, others in those kind of realms, that similar singing, rapping kind of vibe, right? But to have, like you said, that culture stamp, you know what I'm saying, and that kind of innovation of sound, nobody you gonna find.
He's the Steph Curry of the rap game, dog. Right. He literally changed the way the game was played.
Right. Facts. And that's definitely a fact. And but like picking back on what you said about, only one who possibly could contest with him. And to me, it's like you said, Kanye is probably the only one close. Right. I mean, like that has still the hip hop roots. Mm-hmm. Has his own sound, you know what I mean? You have multiple artists with the similar kind of flows, things like that. You talking about a pioneer of making Chicago a hub, you know?
Yeah.
Of hip hop now.
But look at all the detail that you have to go into just to make that argument.
That's true.
We didn't say anything else about Drake,
right?
Other than the fact that what he was doing sonically as an artist.
Right.
Because even when I thought about Kanye, I'm like, damn. Well, then I had to think about, well, his fashion, his business sense, his interviews, like how he shifts culture through interview. I didn't have to say none of that about Drake.
Nah, you don't. Only because Drake has been known for two major things, being an actor and then an artist in a sense. You know what I mean? But looking at Ye's catalog, of course, Ye's been there since, Rockefeller's almost birth. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, well, you see where his generation kind of gets brought up into, but that's still like the Dipset, the Locks kind of generation and things like that. So you kind of see where his beginning is to where his peak is, and then it's kind of like, all right, well, now he's kind of at a plateau where he's doing this for fun, and that's where it's kind of weird. Like with the album he's trying to create, the new one with Donda, I heard it's been leaked to certain sites and certain places.
Yeah.
I haven't heard no official release as or it's here on this, that, and the third. So
this motherfucker's making numbers, nigga. Like he's making numbers without having anything out. Like they talking about all the sales and shit that they got just in preparation for that shit. It's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like
Kanye is good at capitalizing off his arrogance.
Yes.
And I'm like a big fan of that.
Yes.
Big, like feel me? Like he's so like innovative, like with how he goes about being so sure of himself, dog. Like it makes me feel good about being so sure of myself. You know what I'm saying? To the fact that where like I can sell whatever I want to sell and know it's gonna sell. Whether I sell 5 of these or I sell 500 of these, like I have the same confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for you to sell something that ain't even done, and we're not talking about a pre-order for a sneaker or something. Like,
right.
I mean, I know what he's doing on that side too. You know what I mean? Like that's the fact.
I got on the way, so it's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But a lot of people put him in that same God mode status, like Jay and Nas. You know what I mean?
With him, see, what I give Nas is that Nas is very, very, very behind the scenes with how he collects his money.
Right.
You know what I mean? To the point to where he stands on merit. He stands on his bars. He stands on his creativeness. Jay more so, he's more braggadocious about those things, you know what I mean? Because, it appeals to people like us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Kanye kind of took Jay-Z's approach and amplified it. You know what I mean? To where it's like he's gonna put it in your face to tell you exactly what he's gonna do, how he's gonna do it, and then still get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the obstacle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I respect all of their business sense. You know what I mean? Where like Nas gets paid off Jay-Z.
Right.
The entire time they going back and forth,
he's
getting paid from his rival. His rival has to pay him. He has no choice.
Anytime you do the dead presidents and all that. Yeah.
Anytime it's fun anywhere, you're getting residuals. You're getting paid for that. So it's like he won.
Yeah. No, definitely. In the long,
those type of moves, like it's the moves where it's like, ooh, those are like 50 Cent moves. You feel what I'm saying? Those are like 50 moves right there. We just like, ooh, like damn.
Yes.
Damn, that one burns. Like, you know what I mean? Like to the
that
point
does.
It'll drive a weak man insane to the point to where like Jay could have just removed the record. Like this record is no longer available. Like, yo, Biggs, yo, Dame, like we got to scratch. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like it could have gotten to that point if he had crack. You feel what I'm saying? But it's just like moves like that. It's like calculated, and to me, it's like a higher caliber of thinking. And most the casual listener is not gonna understand that. You feel what I'm saying? Like even an avid listener might not pick up on all the business around the business. You feel what I'm saying? But for us, we're intertwined with all of that. So it's like those are the things that I get excited about.
I know that's right. Right, bro. It definitely shows blueprint. Literally what Jay was saying, there's blueprints to this. You know what I mean? And what I love about it is though, not everybody has the same one. You know, and like with Kanye, it's so sporadic. Like it's just everywhere. You know what I mean? One day he'll be
chaos,
political president looking type of dude. Next thing you know, he's a reverend. Next thing you know, he's a straight street nigga. Next thing you know, out in left field picking cotton and doing all types.
Damn, nigga. Go ahead, Joe.
Like the nigga is crazy, but he knows what he's doing with it. No matter what, he definitely knows what he's doing. That's why I love watching him as a act, because it's just like you never know what you're gonna get with Ye.
Exactly what it is. It's an act.
Yeah.
All the way around. So it's organized. That's what makes it dope. It's like because you know there's an end result.
Right.
Like you know there's an end result and he's gonna win.
Right.
Always.
Like he's gonna win.
Always.
Yeah, man.
Like, you don't bet against them. You don't ever. Yeah.
Never.
With the high hand, not like that.
Don't bet against them.
But it's just showing though that these things like you said that are classics, these people that are real and things like that, they last for generations and generations on. So it just shows you like you either gonna take some successful clues from each big person, or you gonna sit there and sink, you know what I mean, and try and figure it out as you go now home. They got everything out there for you. You gotta go obtain. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go see for it. And that's why I like we made sure we got you on this, because you had that insight, that similar pattern of behavior to go get it. You know what I'm saying? By any means necessary, but the right way. You know what I mean? Not no fake shit, not no too flashy here, this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? You do it you real as you can give it, raw as you can give it. And that's why we fuck with you wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? Here at the council, dog. Like, and we want to, of course, we about to interview, we about to get deep with you, you know what I mean, as we have with everybody else. But to start it off being that icebreaker, dog, like, we really respect you for that. And appreciate you for real. You know what I'm saying? Stepping through.
Thank you, man. You like for us, man, bro, you're a fucking standard, nigga. Like you really are. That's like it can't be. It's uncompromisable, nigga. It's just legitimate fact. Cause if we're gonna be lights into this world, are we gonna be a motherfucking true flare of illumination, or are we gonna be a bulb that can flicker? You know what I mean? This nigga's light has been constant and consistent. And so that's why I tell you when I talk to you, nigga, like I talk to you and give you the utmost respect, because it inspires. Like when we look at artists or whatever like that, we're supposed to be inspired to want to not particularly be them, but to have that burning, like, yo, I'm gonna go get this. I'm gonna get this shit like this nigga did. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if he can do it, I can do it, because he made me feel like, yo, anything's possible within your reach. Just like you said yesterday, nigga. I even posted that shit. What was it? Rich nigga. You gotta have a rich nigga mind, right? What was it? Rich nigga mind. And like I thought about that shit for a minute. Y'all go on my motherfucking Facebook, nigga. Somebody was arguing with me. He was like, so does that mean that you need you need to depend on money or what? I said, no, motherfucker. That means that anything within your fucking reach, nigga. Is you serious? Like, get your swag back and reroute your shit. Like, what's up? Mm-hmm. Like, for real, I wanted to tag you one and say, yo, bitch, teach this nigga something. You know what I'm saying? But that's my boy. I ain't gonna knock him or anything. That's my boy. But like, damn, nigga, like, that just shows where we are in life with niggas that are fucking lost.
That's what I be saying, man.
You know what I mean?
Don't got nothing to do with money, man.
Has nothing to do with fucking money. It's like, you dream it, go attain it. Yeah. Because nothing is not in our reach.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we gotta believe that shit or whatever. And like, nigga, you are the true testament for that. Nigga, you are the poster child for that. And I thank you for that. So, man, like, without further ado, let's get into these questions, man. Let's get into the inside of who the fuck Benz is, man.